Hi everybody, this is Coffee with Sandy. Thank you for tuning in today. The mission of Coffee with Sandy is really truly to bring hope to others because we all have pivotal moments in our life and we do have changes that we have to overcome, and sometimes the negative might actually feed into that. So I want to actually share other people's journeys so that we can actually find that little bit of hope in what others might have gone through. And today I have Carol with me. And Carol, if you want to introduce yourself and let people know who you are.
Who I am. Okay, well, great. So my name is Carol, and I am a mother of 3 adult children, 4 stepchildren, grandmother to 2, daughter, believer, and the owner of A Cognitive Connection, executive director, co-founder of Disability Connections, nonprofit organization. So that's kind of who I am and what I do.
Wow. Keeps you busy.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. And we, as I was driving to meet you, I was trying to think, where did we meet? And I know it was networking, but it was actually through PepNet that we met. Right. So, and I just appreciate our friendship that we've built, 2.5 years now, almost 3.
Yeah.
So, so first off, first question for everybody is, when you were in 2nd grade, do you know what you wanted to be?
What I wanted to be?
Yeah.
No, gosh, no. I did not know what I wanted to be. I thought maybe I wanted to be a musician when I was a child, and I did play music. I played the flute, and I played that up into adulthood. So, I have kept that musical background. My dad was a musician.
Wait, so you still play today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I played in some adult choirs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my father's a musician, my uncle, so there was that background and that influence. My parents are also hairdressers, and my grandfather was a barber. And so there was always that inkling, and so loved to play with hair and do my friends' hair and fun stuff like that. But didn't really, I saw my parents run a salon, and they were always busy and never got away. People would come to the door and always doing hair on the weekends and stuff. So I was like, oh, I don't want to live that life,
Yeah.
But I ended up, as an adult, becoming...
I was going to say, and now you're an entrepreneur, so...
I became a hairdresser when I turned 21, and because I knew the job, I knew the work and stuff. So I became licensed in Arizona, and I owned my own salon. I had my kids there with me in the salon, so that was kind of a good fresh start and stuff. And but I knew I didn't want to do that forever. So I went to school and studied psychology.
Wow.
And things just kind of fell into where I am now.
So when did you actually go into school and study psychology then? Was that right out of high school or?
Out of high school, I was still in that musical arts.
Did you travel around with that?
No, I went to the University of Arizona, and I majored in music performance and theater productions. That was kind of my passion. But then I got married and started having kids. And
that changes a lot.
That changes things. And so I switched my major. I still went to school, but I switched my major to child psychology. My oldest son actually was born with a developmental disability. And so I needed to know how to navigate him and his development, and I just became passionate about how the brain affects behavior and the whole psychology of all of it.
Wow, see, and that's, the first first pivotal moment for you then.
Right.
Outside of, what you decided, what you wanted to do when you were in high school, and then tried to push forward with that, and guess what? Surprise!
Right.
Something different changed.
Definitely a pivotal moment.
Yeah. You bring up Arizona. Were you born and raised in Arizona, or?
Yeah, I was born in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Oh, I love
grew up
Flagstaff.
in the Sedona Verde Valley area, a little town called Cottonwood. I went to high school there at Mingus Union High School. Go Marauders.
And how often do you get back?
I not as often as I should. When I first moved here to Colorado in 2001, I believe it was, I was going every year. And, you know, every summer, twice a year, sometimes holidays and stuff, because all my family was back there.
Yeah.
And now it's whenever I can.
Yeah.
It's not a priority anymore.
What brought you out here?
So my sister was actually living in Manitou, Colorado Springs. Her husband was the executive chef at Garden of the Gods Resort, Kissing Camels.
Oh, wow.
And I came out to visit.
And you fell in
I
love.
fell in love with the area. And it was everything that I love. The mountains, the red rocks, the, you know, small town, big city vibe, you know. And the tourist sections of Manitou and everything. And it was a pivotal moment in my living situation. My lease was ending. My kids' school was being sold. They were going to a charter school, sold.
Wow.
Yeah, to a Jewish community or something like that. It was so. I mean, I would have had to find a new school. I had just finished my bachelor's degree, and I was like, you know, it's time for a change.
Wow.
So we just upped and moved.
That's awesome. There's a lot of people that I think I've met or that actually have sat with me, and it's amazing how many people just took that leap and moved. One of the last guests I had, I think she came out with her parents, or her mom drove her out here and left her.
Left her?
I mean, not on purpose. Yeah. I mean, she did on purpose, but it was after they had come out to visit a sister. And she said she loved it so much that she sent her mom back with her stuff, and her mom sent all her belongings later on.
Wow. Yeah.
And now, of course, all her family is here.
That's courage.
Yeah.
That's really courage. Just
Yep.
doing it on your own.
Growing up, you did mention your grandparents and your parents. So you were a tight-knit family then when you were growing up.
Yes, very tight-knit. Grew up with my grandparents in the same town, you know, spending a lot of time with cousins and aunts and uncles, and, you know, just very large family. I think my dad had 5 brothers and sisters. My mother actually had 7 brothers and sisters. So, like I said, lots of aunts, lots of uncles, everybody in Arizona.
Yeah.
So, you know, living in Flagstaff or the Verde Valley, and even some in Phoenix area. But, you know, so we were all very close-knit.
Yeah, so holidays were spent with everybody,
with
like
family.
Like when I was growing up, it's like, I don't know. I know, I do remember like little pieces of when I was really young where we would have Christmas brunch at our house, and then we go to grandma's, my dad's mom's, for Christmas dinner or whatever, and it was always kind of that way with even Thanksgiving. You know, we'd go to, I don't know if we went to church on Thanksgiving, but, you know, we would get together and then with mom's side of the family, and then, you know, I mean, it was just kind of interesting, and I don't know if a lot of people do that now.
Well, I definitely try to, with the family that I built here in Colorado. My 3 adult children, 2 of them are still living here, you know, one with her significant other, her husband, and their 2 kids, so my grandbabies. You know, we always get together. My oldest is living in Florida now, but he's very involved in family, and he just loves being around family. He's got that nostalgia about him. He just loves family. Yeah. And then with all my step kiddos and their significant others, and, you know, family is very important. Yeah. And so we spend every holiday together.
So what's your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday. So it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's a holiday, but it's a time of the year.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the fall and Halloween time. Like I said, I don't really celebrate Halloween as a holiday, but it's the time of the year where there's a lot of changes. And my birthday is in November, so it's fall, autumn time. So it's just a good time of change and growth And although some people think spring would be that time of growth, right? No, for me it's fall, and I love, where kids dress up, and we always have a very big annual fall party.
Oh, do you?
And we invite all different agencies and their participants and everybody to come and celebrate, and we do games and serve food, and so that's kind of my favorite time of the year.
Yeah. So I do want to bring up your organization and what you do for those with cognitive disabilities.
Yeah.
But I would like to talk about that a little bit if you're willing to share. How did things start for you when you started? Was it starting with a cognitive connection, or was it the disability connections? How was it?
So I told you I got my bachelor's degree in psychology when we moved here to Colorado, and I worked for a residential treatment center as a counselor, not camp counselor, but a counselor there. And they actually needed a teacher, so they put me through my master's program.
So you could be a teacher.
So I could be a teacher for their kiddos, their at-risk teens. And after that, they actually sold. They went out of business, and so I went to work for District 49.
I'm laughing because it sounds like the history.
The history of how it happened. But I went to work for District 49 as a behavioral interventionist. And I ran a classroom for kids kindergarten through 6th grade with emotional and behavioral disorders. So I had everybody in my classroom, and we had fun, and I was teaching, and but if you know public school systems and you know the bureaucracy and beating your head trying to get supports and trying to get funding and trying to get, I'm not going to badmouth, it is, but it's just disheartening.
Yeah, and it's not just that district that you work for. It's all the school districts. And I think that that's one of the things too, is that they cut out so many programs, like even music, and shop and home ec. I mean, all the things that are necessary for, for everyday living. And it is the funding for that.
Right, it's the funding. And so I understood that, and so I was disheartened. And they were cutting my program, and they offered me a resource position, and I said, no, I think that there's something different for me. So another pivotal point, right? Moment, right? So I pulled out of working for the school district, and I started a cognitive connection. Just me, myself, and I, and out of the trunk of my car, and tools that I use.
Oh my gosh, that just gave me chills. The trunk of my car.
And my little, apartment, and I'd have people come to my little, the clubhouse and an apartment area or the business office or whatever in the front, and we would do cognitive therapy right there, and memory training and focus training and different things, or I'd go to their homes.
Carol, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So started it then. That was back in 2010, actually. And then I just started finding those like-minded people and other people who wanted to make a difference. And we started partnering up, and I started sharing office space with some other counselors that I knew. I'd work on Saturdays, they'd work Monday through Friday, and those connections I still have today, and they're contracted counselors with me.
Oh, that's so neat.
So, and it's just
what a great story.
and grown, and now we have over a dozen contracted counselors.
Wow.
And over 40 support staff that go out in the community and work with the disabled communities and stuff, and offer them just a better quality of life.
Oh, that's so cool. So, and then you have a place up in Denver?
We do. We have an office in Aurora.
And how long is that? You just recently, a couple years now,
yeah,
maybe?
It's just been maybe 3 years.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So we started that.
It's
maybe
been
two or 3 years.
Maybe when you and I first met then, you were just starting to get that going.
Office.
Yeah.
So we have an office. I have my office manager up there. We have 2 counselors that are working out of there, and I try to get up there once a week, or trying to do twice a week, and just building up the support there, because the need is just fantastic.
And now, do you work up based really off of contractors, because you have 1099 people that are working for you, but you also have donations. Do you take donations? Are you a nonprofit?
So we started Disability Connections in 2019.
Okay.
To be the nonprofit umbrella to be able to fundraise and do different activities and concerts and just be a funding source for the people who could not do funding for their therapies. So we would offer scholarships.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take those obstacles away. So we'd offer scholarships not only for our therapies and treatments, but for alternative therapies all over the community.
Yeah.
So we're able to fund, equine therapy or water therapy, or we've been able to sponsor whole families with YMCA memberships for their children with low mobility or physical disabilities and things like that. And we've also been able to purchase equipment that people with disabilities just didn't have funding for. So it's become bigger than we ever thought it would be.
Yeah. Bigger than out of the trunk of your car.
Bigger than out of the trunk of my car.
And it's because you were open to the change and to making things better.
Right, and seeing the need and seeing the obstacles to access those things that people are needing and trying to overcome. Yeah.
I admire how much you do in the community itself, not even just for the company, but just in the community, because you have a lot of drive and a lot of passion for other people and their successes as well. So,
well, I have a big collaboration with the disability community and other businesses. I love to support small businesses and the entrepreneurial spirit and everything. So I believe that it's all in relationships.
Yeah.
Right? Those relationships that you build.
Yep.
Not the transactions that we do.
Right, exactly. Well, and also too, you don't take no for an answer. So,
and I don't say no.
Oh, okay. Hey, can I have some money? No, I'm just kidding. No. Oh my gosh.
No, I was in a meeting earlier today, and one of the team members asked, so would you be able to start services without the actual authorization, and so we can get everything, we can get the ball rolling, and I know if I was going to talk to my admin team, they'd say, no, we have to have everything in line, and I'm like, sure.
We'll just figure it out as we go on. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, have you always been one that hasn't taken no for an answer? Or was that a learned behavior after a while?
I think I've always been that way because, I used to always tell my kids, don't think about the reasons why you can't do something, figure out how you can do something. I always tell my kids that.
I think we need to highlight that.
Yeah. I'll put it on a coffee mug.
I like that.
Yeah. Because they wanted to do all the experiences and the events and the sports, and they want to do all this stuff. And I was a single mom for most of my time raising my kiddos, and I'm like, I can't tell them no. I'm going to figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's kind of how I was when I bought my first townhouse.
And
I was like, I was renting from my girlfriend Laura, who owned it, and when she and I talked about it, she was planning on selling it, and I'm like, you can't take my house away.
Right.
And so I figured out how to do it. Yeah.
Right.
And even the house that I'm in now, I didn't have the down payment, and of course, now that I'm in lending, right, I know about all the programs that were out there, but at the time I did not. I mean, even that was 11 years ago. I didn't know about, the down payment assistance program. programs that were available. So I had to figure it out, and I found a way,
Yeah.
to find the money. It wasn't, 20%, which I only found out at that time I didn't need 20% down. But, it's just it's interesting how the message that people really need to know is that don't take no for an answer. If you're passionate about something, if you're passionate enough about something, just keep pushing forward and finding. What gets you out of a funk?
What gets me out of a funk? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think going for a walk. That's my best answer. Going for a walk.
Even in the winter?
Even in the winter. I'll bundle up, I'll put my earbuds in, put in some worship music or something, and just going for a walk.
And does that sort of thing make you smile then, or do you have something different that makes you smile?
My grandbabies make me smile.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They said that if I don't know if they said that, I just put it out there, but somebody said it. I'm saying it now. If you could have your grandbabies first, you would?
Yeah.
I so would. Oh my gosh. I can't believe they make me smile every time I see them.
And then you can just give them back, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best thing, right? I don't have any yet, not that I know of, but.
Yeah, they make me smile.
Yeah. Even my grandnieces and nephews, it's so cool just to be able to see the reactions, when you walk into a room. And it's like,
I know.
just like, when your animals show up at the door when you get home, it's like even the little ones are so happy to see you.
Yeah, definitely.
So, favorite animal?
Oh gosh, I had so many kind of running through my head. I was thinking elephant because of the majesty and the, just the size. Grizzly bears, again, for that just massiveness and the size of their paws and everything. It just amazes me. But then I also think of goldfish and tropical fish because of the beauty.
Yes.
And, there's a reason for everything, but animals amaze me. They're God's creatures.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have
a spirit animal or an eagle? An eagle,
an eagle, yes.
No, I don't know.
And then you are married to Jason.
Yes, Jason and I have been married since 2012.
Congratulations. How'd you guys meet?
Through that whole time that I was collaborating with others in the community, I actually met up with his mother, who had some things going with nutrition. I wanted to educate my clients, kind of with nutrition and being on the same, being healthy inside and out and stuff. And so we met through her. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's great when your mother-in-law can pick you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Or if you could pick her, because then at least you know.
Yeah.
Best decision you've ever made?
Best decision I've ever made. Oh my goodness. Best decision I've ever made. I didn't see that in the questions. Probably to stick with school. It took me a long time in my journey of finally getting my bachelor's degree. Long time. But to stick with it and never give up.
So when you were going through that, was it like a couple classes, because you were a single parent, right?
A class at a time. Here, a class here, a class
wow.
there. So it was forever.
Yeah.
But then when I got my master's, I was able to do in 3 years or something like that. But then I didn't even mention this, but I am in my PhD program.
Oh, no, you did not.
My path right now also. And
when did you start that?
I don't know. I don't remember when I started it, but I have all my coursework completed, and I'm in ABD, all but dissertation, currently.
Oh, so, Carol, that's so awesome.
So pretty soon you can call me Dr. Carol.
Yes, no kidding. Oh, I can't wait to celebrate.
Yes, soon.
Yeah. So do you have anybody that you can think about, past or present, that are your biggest influencers?
So when I was a young adult, I actually got involved with network marketing, Amway, way back when, and I think that was a big part of my entrepreneurial education because I started reading, your Norman Vincent Peale's and your, Think and Grow Rich and your, all those 7 Habits of Highly Influential People, stuff like that. All those Bibles of business.
Yeah.
And so that was a big influence, and so I was involved in a few different network marketing programs where their education was just so incredible.
Mm-hmm.
There was a teacher, her name was Danny Johnson. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but man almighty.
D-A-N-I?
D-A-N-I,
Yep.
Danny Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'd go to her workshops, and I'd see her in person. I would read everything. It was just like I was just a sponge with everything, and she just
and I think
influential.
that the multi-level marketing pieces of anybody's life, I think that it is a great opportunity for you to learn. First of all, how to manage money, how to manage your time, how to manage people, products, sometimes.
Services.
Yeah. So what were some of the roadblocks that you had? I don't know, I guess when you were younger and then through, adulthood now. I mean, because I think we all have some roadblocks.
Oh yeah. Roadblocks. I think one of the biggest has probably been finances, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned I was a single mom, and we couldn't, we didn't have the best of everything or whatever, but we made things happen, and I was able to do fundraisers, and I would do everything I could, so that my kids could be on competitive teams, or we could get uniforms, or we could do stuff, and then through business. Being able to, have the tools that we need to do different therapies, or be able to, pay my contractors, for services that I'm trying to get, to collect money on and things like that.
Yeah.
And so, so finances have been a roadblock, but, you just have to give it to God.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
and he provides he provides when it's his time.
Right. Yeah. And then people are roadblocks because you can't. You trust. I trust people.
Yes.
And I believe what they say, but performance doesn't always match up to what they. And so, just finding the right team, finding the right people, and so. But I still love them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like, we just can't work together.
That's true. Yeah. So what does success mean to you?
Success to me means being able to live each day to your purpose and be obedient to life and what God has in plan for you. And family and being together and just finding your own happiness.
Yeah.
That's success.
That's great. And so then the last question I'll ask is, do you have a bucket list? And if you do, what are some of the things that are on it?
Oh my goodness. So I want to travel. I want to build up everything so that everybody's taken care of, so that I can travel the world, so that I can, just eat in Italy and just experience third world countries and just see the world before I die.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, I hope that what's on your first trip that you would take if you could?
My first trip would be take it down to Mexico.
Okay.
I've never really been able to experience that. My mother spent a lot of time in Mexico City and the culture and everything. That's our heritage. We're from my father's family is father's family is from Guanajuato, Mexico, and so that's one place that I'd really love to visit.
I've never heard of that, so that's really cool. I hope you get there, like
Thank you.
within the next year, maybe. Let's put it out there.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you, Carol. And I wanted to thank everybody here for joining us today. I am Sandy Shook. I am a mortgage advisor. I really am a planner in life, but also a planner in finance. I can help you try to figure out a plan for yourself for getting into a house if you're not already in one, but if you are in one and you want to see if you can get a little bit more money at the end of your month, refinancing is always an option as well. And then any other options or programs that we have, investment properties, etc. And Carol, I wanted to thank you too. If you can let everybody know how to reach you, that would be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you can see us on our website at cognitiveconnection.com and our disabilityconnections.net websites. We are on Facebook, and email acognitiveconnection@gmail.com, or phone number to our office is 719-233-1199.
Great. And do you have, don't you have a fundraiser coming up soon?
We do, yes. I had mentioned August 24th is our annual summer concert, and we're incorporating a 5K stroll, we're calling it. So because not everybody is up to running, but let's, get out there. We'll walk, we'll push our strollers, whatever we got to do a 5K, and then we have live bands, we have vendors, we have food trucks, we're going to do tie-dyes, face painting. It's going to be a fun event for all families and anybody in the community. Cottonwood Creek Park, August 24th, starts at 9 a.m. and will be ending around 1 p.m.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Carol. It was great to sit down and talk with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure thing, and thank you everybody for tuning in.
So I have to introduce, this is Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. I'm Sandy.
Yes, Jonathan is a good friend of ours. We have known each other for a while, right? And you work with one of our counselors. Who is that? Who is that? Consuelo, Miss Consuelo?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is why we do what we do.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We, find different ways to help support them. Jonathan works on his communication skills. He works on probably a lot of your cognitive skills. You work with memory and focus. Focus.
Focus.
Yes. Yep. You work very hard, right? You see this?
Do you want to wear it?
He asks me every day to be mic'd up.
Oops. Oh, really?
Every week.
Yeah.
To be mic'd up.
There you go.
You say hi?
Hi.
What's your name? Jonathan. That's beautiful. Are you happy today?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have a note for me? You're going to be mic'd up on KRDO,
Yes.
right? Okay. Well, we're having an event coming up on August 24th, and Jonathan will be there with KRDO,
Oh.
and they're going to interview him.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Wow, congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Captain said it.
Got to bring CD?
Captain said it.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
take a
Let
picture.
me send it to you. Okay, let me take on my mic. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank
Say,
you.
Jonathan. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
So
so much.
sorry.
Wow.
I saw him at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Sorry, had to put that in.
That's okay. That was cool. Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.